This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of On Deck, where we talk MLB baseball and other topics that surround MLB. We're a day late, but guess what? We're here with Crispy Bacon. How are you tonight?
I am good, not too bad. Busy day, but hey, it's the start of the week, so.
Be sure to watch and follow all the programs here on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. Likes or add the stars on Facebook, and just give us likes and follows and subscribe and comment on wherever you may be. So, talking about MLB here, let's get into our team reports. Texas Rangers, Chris. I see that they're still in second place, 22-21. They're one game out of first place. They have lost 4 straight. I see.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They did get Robbie Grossman the other, I think last weekend. I want to say from the Chicago White Sox. He was on the team last year as a bench infielder or outfielder. So it's good to go back to where they know your name in a way, and maybe they can help out things with all the injuries they have. I noticed Evan Carter is out and Wyatt Langford is out, both rookie outfielders who they really need. But
and both MVP candidates.
Rookie of the Year, I would say too.
Yeah.
I had Wyatt, but now it looks like somebody else maybe in San Diego. The Rookie of the Year is showing there. So anything else about the Rangers? Who are they facing this week? And what's up with the Rangers?
Yeah, we have that 4-game slump. Slumps are no good, but hopefully they can pick it back up. Like you said, 2 players are out. That's never good. So hopefully things can be picked back up and we can continue to win.
I see that they're taking on the Guardians this week, or at least for a 3-game series. Tonight they were shut out by Cleveland. Cleveland coming in 10 games now above 500 after the win tonight. So they look really, really good. That's kind of a shocker, too, that they're doing well.
Yeah.
Looks like it didn't really get going until the 8th inning tonight with Cleveland. They scored 4 in the 8th, 3 in the 9th. 8 hits overall. Each team had an error. Michael Lorenzen did well for you guys. 7 scoreless innings. And Leclerc came in and just set the place on fire, it looks like, unfortunately. I did notice about Texas as well. Marcus Semien was named AL Player of the Week from last week.
Cool.
Mark Leiter, I want to say, is that his name? His father, Al Leiter. Al Leiter, yeah. Big prospect, of course. He's going to have his first home start coming up. Jack Leiter. I remember his first start was in Detroit, I think sometime last month. He got sent down. Now he's back up again with Texas. He's making a spot start just for one day on May 8th as that 27th man. He was with the Rangers last for that. They had a doubleheader, so you get a 27-man roster. But he made a start before that last month again in Detroit and had I think a no decision. But Leiter, I'm looking forward to seeing him. Chris,
Me too.
Father is pretty good, and then he's got some good stuff as well. Jack Leiter out of Vanderbilt, he'll be something good. And I notice you guys are facing Cleveland. Eventually, the Guardians will come to Anaheim later this month on the 24th through the 26th, it looks like. For you guys, Cleveland, then you have Thursday off, and guess who? The Angels come to town on the weekend here, 17, 18, 19th. Then you have Monday off, and then you go to Philadelphia, you go to Minnesota. You have 2 with Arizona, the World Series rematch to end the month. And then you in May, and then go into June with Miami. That's a pretty tough schedule for you guys. That is something.
Yeah.
For Texas
It's
coming
brutal.
up. Especially again, like you mentioned with the injuries, that's never a good thing. Speaking of injuries, the Angels, my God. Last week we found out Trout, had a torn meniscus. He had surgery. He's out at least 3 months, probably the whole season, to be honest with you. Anthony Rendon will be out for a while. Seems like 2 months or so. We'll have to see what happens with that. I don't think he'll be around. Maybe until July, I want to say. The Angels right now currently down 8-5 in the top of the 9th against St. Louis. The Angels currently in last at 15-26. Just really, really bad play right now by the Angels. They have other injuries as well. Kevin Pillar, who they picked up off the street, he's hitting well with all the power. It's just funny to see him do that. There's been some other players that have come up for the Angels. It just looks funny because, Nico Goodrum is someone who never got playing time elsewhere, and now he's here with the Angels, thrown into the fire. But to me, Chris, it feels like the Angels have a AAA lineup already up here, and it's only May. Usually this happens in August and September.
Yeah.
It's just bad right now for the Angels. They're starting pitching really, really down. It's a bunch of young guys and then failed, top picks or failed players that they've had for a while that just cannot get together. Patrick Sandoval again was one of those guys yesterday. To go about the week of the of the Angels, since we last talked. They had 3 games in Pittsburgh. The Angels won 2 out of 3. And then they lost 3 out of 4 to Kansas City on the weekend at home. And now they're having a 3-game series at the Big A in Anaheim against St. Louis. They have Thursday off, and then, of course, in Texas to face the Rangers. Then they do the 2-step and go to Houston for 3. Then again, Cleveland comes to town. New York Yankees come to town before ending the month of May in Seattle. So, again, it's a pretty tough schedule. Maybe they're facing the Rangers at the right time. But then again, who are the Angels? It's like we can't have the expectations if you're not living up to them, I guess.
Right.
It's a very tough situation for Ron Washington, the manager. Again, with all of the injuries, there's six position players out. Just think about that. The second baseman, Luis Rengifo, is nearing the return. Michael Stefanik, who's been hurt since spring, he's on a rehab assignment. Ariel Arianza has been placed on the 10-day IL. He's a former Brave infielder who's a veteran, 31 years of age. My goodness. The Angels did make a trade, however, May 9th, I should say. Luis Guillamore came here from Atlanta, the infielder. And again, May 9th as well was a bad day because Brandon Drury, the other second baseman slash first baseman, and DH was put on the IL as well. So you could just tell there's just so many different injuries going on, viruses, among other things. Miguel Sano was one guy who was doing so well in the absence of Anthony Rendon. Now he's out as well. So it's just bad overall, Chris, for the Angels. So,
All right.
since we are here on a Monday, I guess we'll go through the scores of what happened today. Again,
Okay.
the Angels are trailing the Cardinals 8-5, and that's in the top of ninth as we speak. The Padres are trailing the Rockies. It's bottom of the ninth. I could go there now and see what happens. That's in the bottom of the ninth. That's the first game of a 3-game series. The Dodgers and Giants, the best rivalry in the National League, going at it in San Francisco. They're tied at 4 in the bottom of the ninth there. The Diamondbacks and Reds, two teams that are young and kind of disappointing out of the gate, are starting a series. The Diamondbacks lead 4-3 in the top of the eighth there. And another interesting series, this time in the AL East. You have the Orioles hosting the Blue Jays. Today, Toronto won in 10 innings, 3-2. So that's a series to look out for. The Marlins lost to the Tigers in Detroit. Detroit won 6-5. That's the Miguel Cabrera series. The Rays and Red Sox, both trying to climb a little higher in the AL East. Tampa won 5-3. Phillies and Mets. The Phillies won in 10 innings, 5-4. And if you saw what happened, Chris, tonight, I think it was tonight, the catcher accidentally hit Bryce Harper in the face with the ball. He was throwing it back to the pitcher and accidentally hit him. And it's just unfortunate because we know how fragile Bryce Harper can be. And something so accidental to happen like that, it's just never good. A great series here starting up this week. The Braves are hosting the Cubs. Both are way above 500. Actually, Atlanta shut out Chicago tonight 2-0, so that was good. National League Central matchup. You got the Pirates lost. The Pirates defeated the Brewers 8-6. The Brewers, of course, holding first place, but that could be changing soon. And again, the Guardians defeated the Rangers. They shut them out 7-0 in Texas. The Astros and A's. Houston got back on the winning track there. They won 9-2 over Oakland. And then the Mariners defeated the Royals 6-2 tonight. And then we had one game postponed, unfortunately, in Chicago. The Nationals and the White Sox. There will be a doubleheader sometime this week, you would think, between the two. Chris, out of the series I mentioned, which one stands out to you? Which one would you see? I know we had the Braves and the Cubs, the Dodgers and the Giants, Phillies, Mets, Rays, Red Sox, Orioles, Blue Jays, Reds, Diamondbacks. Any of these stand out?
I'd go Braves and Cubs. I've always been kind of a Cubs fan because of family, but we'll go Cubs Braves.
Yeah, I like that one too, just because you have Taillon starting for Chicago, and he's 3-0 tomorrow. And then Chris Sale, who was kind of found in the youth here with the Braves, he's 5-1. I mean, everybody was expecting this from him in Boston, but he was traded to Atlanta. He's kind of been a bright spot for him with all the starters that they have had. So it's been pretty fun to see that.
All right.
Other series starting up, starting on Tuesday, the Yankees and the Twins. Those are two good teams right there in Minnesota. That's the only series the only series not going on today starting up. And yeah, the doubleheader between the Nationals and White Sox will be starting off tomorrow. So the standings of note here, we'll go through these. Again, the American League West for us, Seattle leads by a game and a half over Texas. And then you have Oakland 4.5 back, Houston 6.5 back, and 7.5 back are the Angels, who are on the ropes tonight against St. Louis. In the AL East, you have Baltimore tied with New York just by percentage points for the lead in the AL East. Excuse me. And then you have Boston 5.5 back, Tampa Bay 6 back, and then the Blue Jays, who should be so much better, at 7.5. It's really a shocking thing. Cleveland leads the AL Central still by a game over Minnesota. Minnesota, remember, had the 12-game winning streak, and they've gone up the standings. Kansas City, with the help of the Angels, are now only at 1.5 games back of first place. They've been really good as of late. The Tigers are 1 game above 500 at 4.5. And then the White Sox, they're 12-29, last place, 13.5 back already in last place. AL East, the Phillies lead the Braves by 2 games, which might be a shocker. Washington, 8.5 back, the Mets 9 back, and then the Marlins at 11-32. At least they're double digits in wins. Are 18.5 back already. That just is puzzling to me. And as I mentioned, the NL Central is pretty tight with the top 2. Milwaukee leads the Cubs by a half game only. And then you have the Pirates at 5.5 games back. The Reds at 6.5. And then the Cardinals, who are about to win, will go to 7 games back. The Dodgers lead the NL West despite losing 2 out of 3 in San Diego on the weekend. They're 5.5 games up on the Padres. The Diamondbacks are 7.5. The Giants are 8 games back and forth, and then you have the Rockies trying to hold on in San Diego right now as we speak, 14 games out. Chris, you look at the standings. What jumps out to you about each league?
Not much. I mean, Rangers are still in the second. I guess you can say Cleveland's still, doing well. Chicago's, the White Sox are not doing too well. I don't know. Those are the ones that really stand out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. The White Sox, they have a lot of problems. I keep seeing the chances that they might have to move, or if they don't get a new ballpark. And if that happens, that'd be unfortunate. But they'll go somewhere maybe a little nicer.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about what happened on Saturday, because it was big news in the MLB world with Paul Skeens making his major league debut on Saturday. Starting pitcher, remember, he was a high draft pick in the MLB draft last year. By the way, Colorado wins 5-4 in their game over San Diego tonight. So the Padres go down to 6, it looks like. 6 games back of LA. Chris, do you have the line for Paul Skeens, that picture?
I don't, but I can look him
Okay.
up.
All right. Well, I can tell you here, too. Paul Skeens, he went 4 innings. He gave up the 3 earned runs. He did strike out 7. He gave up 6 hits and 2 walks. He had, amazing pitches, because he threw, I think it was 17 pitches at 100 miles per hour in his start. Just think about that.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, and then I think he had 7 pitches that were above 101 miles per hour. Absolutely ridiculous for a rookie to come up and throw that kind of gas. Now you might be saying, well, it's kind of a trouble for someone like that young. They might need Tommy John surgery sometime, That's the only issue with that. In that game, though, the Pirates did hold on to win 10-9 in extra innings. It was a really exciting game over the Cubs, and the place looked packed for once at
That's
PNC
good.
Park. You know, Chris, whenever you see PNC Park, it's usually empty.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it wasn't on Saturday, so that was a really good sight to see, and you want to see it more as the weather gets nicer as well. Another note about Paul Skeens' start. And every start he has, I should say, every strikeout, he's donating $100 to the Gary Sinise Foundation for every strikeout he has this year. The money will go directly to a fund raising money for veterans and first responders. I just think that's admirable by him to do
I like
that.
it when they do that. I like it when players,
And
you know,
this is
for
a
every
rookie
home
doing
run.
it.
Yeah.
That you never see that. It's ridiculous. It's
For
amazing.
every home run, for every kick, for
Yeah.
every touchdown, whatever. It's good to
But
see that.
but for a rookie to do it, it's amazing. Why other players didn't have, doesn't do this. It's kind of it tells you he was raised right, I would think.
Oh yeah.
You got anything on this, Chris?
No, it's good to see that, he had a good evening, for his first start. Uh, maybe the numbers will be a little better, but it's not bad.
Yeah, for his first start, you're not expecting much. You just want to see how he goes after hitters the second time around. And you want to see how he starts the second time around. I should be watching the next start he has, whomever it may be against. Also on Saturday night, like we mentioned, the Dodgers and Padres are playing that rivalry now that's going on. Shohei Ohtani did leave the game with back tightness in the win over San Diego, and he didn't play on Sunday. By the way, San Diego took 2 out of 3 over LA on the weekend, and that was kind of a surprise. The Padres now 5-3 on the year against Los Angeles, and that's kind of a shock. Remember, Chris, they started the season in Korea. They had the 2
Yeah.
games during spring training that counted, and they both split there. Then in LA in May, the Padres took 2 out of 3, and then this last weekend, the Padres took 2 out of 3 in San Diego over LA. And by the way, I got to mention this. For the record, for the 3 days at Petco Park, it was all record crowds for the whole total of attendance. Baseball's doing real well in Southern California. Well, I should say San Diego and LA, not really Anaheim. You'll give away tickets in Anaheim and nobody will go.
Yeah.
By the way, for the Padres, Yu Darvish pitched 7 shutout innings on Sunday in that rubber game win for San Diego. Ha-Seong Kim was hit by a pitch. He's their shortstop for San Diego. On the wrist, his x-rays were negative. For LA, Will Smith, their catcher, was 0 for the series at the plate. Whenever you can neutralize someone that can kill you, it's a really great thing. It's a rivalry now, and it's been one at least for a little bit now since the Padres have kind of bulked up and trade for some players, signed some players that can make impact. So it was a really good thing, really positive thing for San Diego. There's pictures going around where all these Dodger fans were marching through the street of San Diego, and I think it was pretty good for the Padres and their fans, especially to see the Padres take that series. I mean, anytime in a rivalry, Chris, and you're the underdog supposedly, and excuse me, when you have the upper hand, it's a really good feeling. Is there a rivalry like that with the Rangers right now?
Maybe Colorado, but I don't really know.
I would think Houston. Last year
Oh yeah.
you guys, played them in the championship series. It seemed like the team that went on the road always beat each other last year. And we saw this year it's been a little different with Texas with the injuries. It's been a little bit different, you know. The Rangers, I think they've shown they've been better than the Astros. It's amazing to see the Astros with Jose Abreu being sent down, missing 6 starting pitchers. That's going to kill a team. That's why you see the Astros only a 4th this year. All right. Let's see. By the way, Sunday was Mother's Day, so shout out to all the mothers out there. And in response, the MLB players got to wear pink. And I think a cool thing, I think the pictures I sent you, the Red Sox players' lockers had their names replaced by their mothers on Sunday. So I think that was a great touch to see that. And it looked like in the Red Sox locker room, they had like a pink light throughout the whole room. And again, the name in pink as well. That was pretty cool. Then every team had every team had a hats in their colors, but instead of like a white logo or whatever, it had pink in their logo. And then they had pink bats and pink wristbands, pink ribbons and socks and shoe cleats, you know, anything you could think of. Yeah, there. Thank you. That's the locker yesterday that the Red Sox had in their locker. The whole clubhouse was lit up pink, and I think it was a great touch when you saw that. Do you also have that picture of the bats? I mean, the hats and the bat that New Era had.
Yeah, I can. Oh, I see it. I'll get it up. Hold on.
Yeah, those were cool too. I mean, every year they have like a military one, or they have, you know, something camouflage.
Yeah, it's like theme night for the league.
Mm-hmm. The what is it called? The Pirates I mentioned on Monday. I didn't mention this, but against the Angels, they had the camouflage hats on. And yeah, here was the hats for 2024. As you can see, they had pink bats for New Era, and then the New Era hats had their team colors, but the pink under the bill and on the logo. I think that was a really cool touch. What do you think about all that, Chris?
I like them. You know, I'm sure, you know, for something like that or breast cancer or something like that, that's a nice touch.
You know, we've seen that with the NFL. Remember, everybody used to wear like everything pink.
Yeah, now it's like they do every cancer
Mm-hmm.
diagnosis.
So that was cool on Sunday. Father's Day, I think, will be next month, I want to say.
Yeah.
And they will have blue in all those colors and all those things. They will have the light blue or baby blue, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
One topic that was interesting that came out this morning, and I'm happy we're doing the show now, just because anytime you get to, you know, make fun of the Dodgers, it's a good thing. And if you have the picture, first picture of it, yeah, see, here is the link, or the leak. This wasn't supposed to come out yet. The picture of the new Dodgers City Connect uniforms. And if you could barely see it, they have like confetti on their uniform. Now, you get the Dodgers, you get the stripe, I mean LA, you get Los Angeles, you get like the... Now, here's a picture my friends at Halos in the Infield made of what they think the jersey is. Confetti cake with the Dodger logo. But Chris, on the jersey, you see the confetti there on the jersey. You see where it says Los Angeles and it has the flight path. I think they're doing it for LAX. And that's what it also reminded me of, the blueberry Pop-Tarts of the City Connect jerseys of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Now, I've never had the blueberry Pop-Tarts, but I bet they all taste the same. If you go back to that first picture, Chris, if you could for me, and you can see the Dodgers on the side, they have the LA with the D, the red tags for some reason. It's weird. And it says LA on the other side on the red tag. But it just looks weird to me. In the back of that picture, though, now I don't think that was, again, all of this was not supposed to come out. But if you see in the back, you have green and yellow on the sleeve right there, right? So I'm thinking to myself, that's the Oakland A's City Connect jersey, but they're on their way out. So there's no reason to have them, I guess. The Yankees, Cardinals, and I'm trying to remember the other team. It was supposed to be the A's as well, but they're supposed to have their City Connect jerseys, and I believe they're behind this Dodger jersey here. So whoever leaked these out, we thank them, but they're going to get in huge, huge trouble. Chris, what do you think with these jerseys, and how has Nike ruined these
Yes.
these jerseys, these City Connect jerseys?
Yes, and I know we talk about NBA kind of doing something like this, and those are better than what these are.
Yeah, these you could see the inspiration for them, but there's just something about MLB jerseys where you try not to ruin something that has been around forever and that has worked forever. Oh, the Cardinals, by the way, are that other City Connect uniform coming out this year. And again, if you look behind the Dodger jersey, there's a red one. So I'm thinking, Chris, there's going to be the Cardinal jersey will be red, the Yankee jersey will be in pinstripes, and then you have the Oakland jersey in the on the sleeve there, unless it's a throwback jersey. On the right side, all you see is throwback jerseys of the NBA on the rack there. I'm kind of a geek when it comes to uniforms and jerseys, but
Yeah,
you could just tell you were trying to figure out what is all this going to mean, and hopefully those will come out and we'll have inspiration from them. By the way, Detroit had the Motor City Connect jerseys, and they look like the Pistons ones from like 2019 or something, where it has two stripes down the middle, and it looks like kind of like the Cadillac logo stripe or something, and it says Motor City, and then on the hat it says Detroit, not just a D, but Detroit. It just, I don't know, it's just too much, I think, for a uniform for the MLB. It just looks pretty weird.
Oh yeah.
All right, Chris, you got anything else for the MLB?
I don't. Do you?
I was gonna mention something, but my internet went weird. Okay, here it is.
Huh.
We saw the power rankings, and I don't know if I had a beef with this, but this team, they say, is number one for the first time ever since MLB started these power rankings. MLB.com, more than a decade ago, the Orioles have never been number one, but now they're number one. When 4 or 5 years ago they were last, they were number 30. So it's amazing to see how much the Orioles have climbed up the ladder to go from worst to first in 5-something years. Other things I saw today, there were 2 women calling the A's and the Astro games, one on each side. It was Jenny Cavnar doing the A's games, and then Julia Morales, who is a sideline reporter. She did the game today for Houston. So women are in the booth, not only for being a PA announcer, but now doing play-by-play. It's pretty cool to see. There was also a moment I saw earlier during the Angel game, and you never know. Depending on where you sit at baseball games, Chris, you might get
Mhm.
one foul ball. But a fan down the left field line at T-Mobile Park today caught two baseballs. The Seattle Mariner fan, all barehanded grabs. It was a pretty cool sight to see. Uh, Sometimes that happens, and I remember, Chris, there was this kid sitting at the old Rangers ballpark, maybe like 7, 8 years ago. Um, he caught three balls, and this kid might have been like 9 or 10 years old, and he brought his glove with him, and three balls went up there, and he caught them all, and I was so shocked by that. He just happened to sit where like the right hand hitters foul him off at the most. It's really cool to see. I think that's really cool. So you never know when you get lucky. You might have, like today. I saw an announcer. Somebody was wearing his jersey, and they got a signed ball by him, and it's pretty cool to see.
Oh, cool.
The Cubs, by the way, yesterday I want to say, yeah, no, today. Sorry, today. Shota Aminyama. He's been the best pitcher so far, ERA wise. Um, he's a rookie coming from Japan, and he's a lefty too. And he gave the Braves a challenge today on Monday night. Um, he did get out of the bases loaded jam. He gave up the he pitched 5 shutout innings. Um, but dude is just really good. Only a rookie. Like he might be the guy going forward for Rookie of the Year. He's been really good so far. Like I mentioned, he had 8 strikeouts, ending inning punch outs in the first and third innings to strand 2 runners each time. And that's the Braves lineup that's really potent. So that was really great to see. The ERA, by the way, after tonight, is below 1. It's at 0.96. He's 5-0, 8 games started, 46 and 2/3 innings pitched, and he has 51 strikeouts. That's like Fernando Valenzuela stuff to start a season. And Fernando had the least at 0.50 after 8 starts. After 8 starts. So that's why I mentioned that. It's a really, really great start by Shota and something the Cubs really need. By the way, the Angels lost 10-5 today in Anaheim. Tonight in Anaheim. Sorry. The Cardinals go to 17-24, and the Angels go to 15-27. Again, stuck in last place. And injuries again piling up for the Angels. All right, we'll get out of here. We'll get final thoughts from Chris and me, and we'll tell you more.
No, thanks everyone for watching and tuning in. Make sure to watch all of our Coast to Coast Network stuff and just keep watching.
By the way, the fan in Seattle who caught those 2 foul balls, it was on 2 straight pitches.
Huh.
Would you imagine that? 2 straight pitches, the pitcher threw the same pitch, and the hitter hit it the same way down that left field line. I think that's so amazing for that to happen. I really do. I wish that would happen to me, but I'll probably drop both. Be sure to check out all the Coast to Coast shows and entertainment throughout the week. There's always stuff going on every day of the week, so look out for that. Events going on Saturday, Oregon Cougar football, and then everything else. We'll get out of here on that. Everyone take care, folks, and thank you for watching On Deck. And enjoy the baseball throughout the week and weekend. See you next time. Bye-bye.